जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल। Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Radha Madhava ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody to the Samriddhi's lecture. I think the weather saved a lot of people today from listening to me. But gratitude to you all. On this inclement weather, you still made it. That shows your love for Krishna and his Harikatha. So I hope to make some justice today in keeping your endeavors coming in this inclement weather. It's a fruitful one. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So in the spirit, we just completed Kartik Mass, and then what is our next upcoming festival? It's a big festival. Gita Jayanti and Srila Prabhupada Book Distribution Marathon. So, in the spirit of that, I decided to speak something from Bhagavad Gita. For the verse today, I picked the Gita Mahatmya. Gita Mahatmya means the glories of Bhagavad Gita. It is a text written by the Acharyas to glorify Bhagavad Gita. So, when we hear the glories, for example, right, when we hear about some person, somebody says, so-and-so person is a great person, he did this X, Y, and Z, we immediately become attracted to that person and we want to know more about that person, right? Similarly, the Acharyas who read a lot of scriptures and a lot of Vedas and texts, whenever they feel something is very important, they glorify that aspect, so that for us who cannot go through all these scriptures, when we hear the glory, we say, okay, I don't have enough time, let me just take this one thing and right? So this is the Gita Mahatmya, so we will try to recite that one before I go into these prayers. Okay. So I will try, the text is written 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, in that sequence. So some of these verses I'm also still learning, so please pardon me if I fumble somewhere. Okay. Gita Shastram Idam Punyam Ya Patet Prayata Punan Vishnu Padam Apnoti Bhaya Shokadi Varjita Gita Dhanyasya Silasya Pranaya Prayasacha Pranayama Prayasacha Naivi Santani Papani Purva Janma Kritani Cha Malani Imocham Punsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrat Gritamrita Snanam Samsara Malanashanam Gita Sugita Kartavya Kim Anai Shastra Vishtrayai Yasvayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padmad Vinishrita Bharatamrita Sarvasvam Vishnu Vaktrad Vinishrisritram Gita Gangotkam Pitva Punarjanmana Vidityate Sarvapanishadau Gavo Dogda Gopalanandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamritam Mahat Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva Eko Mantrastasya Namani Yani Karma api ekam tasya devasya seva. I'll quickly read the translations if you can follow. It is one of the most wonderful, poetically as well as wonderfully composed text. You will definitely be inspired to read Bhagavad Gita when you read these texts. One who, with a regulated mind, recites with devotion this Bhagavad Gita scripture, which is the bestower of all virtue, will attain to a holy abode such as Vaikuntha, the residence of Lord Vishnu, which is always free from the mundane qualities based on fear and lamentation. If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. One may cleanse himself daily by taking bath in water, but if one takes a bath even once in the sacred water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. Because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one need not read any other Vedic literature. One need only attentively and regularly hear and read Bhagavad Gita. In the present age, people are so absorbed in mundane activities that it is not possible for them to read all the Vedic scriptures. But it is not necessary. This one book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice because it is the essence of all Vedic scriptures, and especially because it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By drinking the Ganges waters of Gita, the divine quintessence of Mahabharata emanating from the holy mouth of Lord Vishnu, one will never take rebirth in the material world again. In other words, by devotionally reciting Bhagavad Gita, the cycle of birth and death is terminated. Please pay attention to the last two ones. All the Upanishads are like a cow, and the milker of the cow is Lord Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda. Arjuna is the calf, and the beautiful nectar of Gita is the milk, and the fortunate devotees of the fine theistic intellect are the drinkers and enjoyers of that milk. You see how poetically the Acharyas have compiled that all the Upanishads, when you take the essence out of it, that is Bhagavad Gita. And the last one is my favorite. There need be only one scripture, the divine Gita sung by Lord Sri Krishna. Only one worshipable Lord, Sri Krishna. Only one mantra, his holy names. And only one duty, the devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. Why is this my favorite? It is amazing how Srila Prabhupada established this movement, and we are in the parampara of the Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya. And the last verse pretty much entails the whole purpose of our movement. You know, what did we do moment to moment here? See this. Eko Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam. What are they saying? If all the scriptures are gone, only one scripture is surviving. Eko Shastram. Only one Shastra is left. Let that be Devaki Putra Gita. Devaki Putra is Krishna, the song of Krishna, which is Bhagavad Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. There's a lot of confusion. You know, there's demigods, there's empowered personalities. Who is the ultimate God? Eko Putra, Eko Devo. Only one Lord. Who is he? Devaki Putra Eva. For example, there could be confusion between Vishnus and the avatars and whatnot. That's why the Acharyas are glorifying, saying that they're not even saying Krishna. They're saying Devaki Putra. That means it confirms Devaki Putra Eva. Eko mantra. There are so many mantras for meditation. So many mantras in the Vedic scriptures. Eko mantra tasya namani yani. Which is the mantra? The name of Devaki Putra, which is Krishna. And then last one. Karma api ekam dasya sevasya seva devasya seva. You can be performing so many actions, right? You can perform piety, you can perform charity, you can perform many things. But what is the ultimate? Eko, karmapi ekam. There is only one action, which is the ultimate of all. Tasya devasya seva. What is that? Devotional service. So this is my favorite, all good to Srila Prabhupada, who has brought us into that perfect situation where we understand all these four as the main aspects of our life. Okay, before we go, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So before I start my lecture, I'd like to seek the blessings of all the senior Vaishnavas. Pretty much everybody is more or less senior to me. I also want to put one disclaimer before I was going to decide on the topic that I was going to give. I shared my intentions with Panduranga Gopal Prabhu, and he said maybe 80% of the people won't get what you're talking about. So I'll try to, I'm taking the risk to convey the message. This came about by, I don't know if you know, thank you so much, Prabhu. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. So I recently happened to visit my family in Florida. My brother-in-law lives there, and I went to a theme park. I was taking my kids to the theme park, Animal Kingdom, and there's this very fancy ride. I think it's one of the most popular rides. So my cousin, she was saying, you have to go on this ride. So it's the Pandora or Avatar ride. So it's very popular. So I said, okay. They said 1 hour wait time. So I stood like 1 hour. Let me go. I can finish my rounds. 1 hour became 2 hours. 2 hours became 2.5 hours. Then 3 hours. So finally got on the ride. I said I got on the ride. I was so nervous, but I think it was a really, really wonderful ride. But before I got on the ride, they explained the concept of Avatar. Because before you go on that, they explain to you, the purpose of your ride, and then what is an avatar and whatnot. And it really inspired me because, I thought, I'm a Sunday school teacher, so I educate the children a lot. I said, this concept seems to be very close to what Bhagavad Gita talks about, the concept of this avatar. While the intentions of it may be different, I said, maybe I should, nowadays a lot of the kids are into video games. So how can I translate this message of Bhagavad Gita into a video game and then convey this message? So that is the attempt I'm trying to make here, and that's why no wonder Panduranga Prabhu said, 80% won't get it. So I try to dilute it after his comments, let's see how it goes. But please do tolerate me if I go out of sequence here. And again, the talk, like I said, I'm a Sunday school teacher, so most of you are experts in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. For those of you who are experts, please forgive me. I'm taking this from a 10,000-foot view, right? I'm not taking it from the details and whatnot. I'm trying to explain this from a 10,000-foot view who is new to Bhagavad Gita and the concept. So the name of the lecture is called The Game of Life. So let us all go into creating this video game called Game of Life. So we're going to be creating this video game called Game of Life. Okay. So before we go to that, I need you to unplug yourself from the external world, right? Otherwise, you will bring your own, if you're disturbed because you came late in the rain, you're worried how you're going to drive back. I want to try to disconnect you from that. So if you don't do that, then the whole game is going to be spoiled. It's going to be a very unpopular game, okay? So let me play some meditative music, and then you can close your eyes. We will see how it goes. Okay. Let me see if this audio is going to work. Okay. I request everybody to please close your eyes. Straighten yourself. If you can sit straight. We'll take a couple of deep breaths. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out again. Breathe in again. Breathe out. So as we come here on this Sunday to hear the message of Krishna, please leave all your worries behind, right? What is going to what has happened when you're on your way here, what you're supposed to do. Just listen to this calming music so that your mind calms down and you can immerse yourself in this Bhagavad Gita. So it'll be quiet for 1 minute and then reflect on yourself. Reflect about who you are. Don't try to rush to answer your questions that are coming in your heart. And think of yourself as a being in this world. Imagine the size of this cosmos. Right now, you're a person sitting in this small room. You feel like you're very significant and your worries are more important. But imagine, what is your size when you compare to the whole of Naperville? Imagine what your size is when you compare to this whole United States. And let's go further up. How significant are we when we compare to this whole world? We're just a small dot. Now think about the whole solar system. How significant are we? Now think of the universe. While we may feel that we're insignificant, the question that should arise into you, who am I? What am I doing here? What is my purpose here? What is my journey? Try to meditate on these questions. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you for joining on this journey, wonderful journey. So in order to answer these questions, who am I? Or more importantly, what am I doing here? And where is my journey taking me? Let us look at these, designing this video game. So you're given this task, right? You're given this task to create a 4-dimensional video game in which there are going to be characters, different kinds of characters. And these characters will be interacting with each other, and they will also be interacting with the environment around them. Anybody plays video games here? Like the Civilization or stuff like that? Or has played once in a while? A video game called Civilization? Yeah. So you become a character in the game, and then you're interacting with other characters, and then you're interacting with the world around you. Right? So this is it. Now, for you to build your first character, what you need is the basic elements. Now remember, this is not a computer video game. This is a four-dimensional video game, right? For that, you need the basic elements, the basic building blocks. The basic building blocks that are available in this world are water, earth, fire, air, and ether. These are the 5 basic elements that are available for you to build a character. Now, slowly we will be designing this, right? If you just take this earth, water, fire, air, ether and make a dummy, that's not enough. You need to add some more building blocks to it because it has to interact with other things in that environment, right? So, the 5 elements in this world that transmit as knowledge, as information between 2 objects is smell, taste, color, touch, and sound. These are the 5 elements that are used to transmit information between either our character to the world or our character to another character. These are the subtle ones, okay? Now, your character should have receiving capability, right? Just like when you have a computer, it has to receive something, so it needs equipment to receive information. The basic building blocks for every character is eyes, ears. I'm just saying eyes, but you can call it the equipment to receive light, equipment to receive sound, equipment to receive the information of touch, equipment to receive the information of smell, equipment to receive the information of taste. So if you look into this world, for us, for humans, it's eyes, ears, hands, and whatnot. For a snake, for a bat, it doesn't have eyes, but it uses sound to get this information. So this is information transmitting from one object to another object. Now we have to go further, right? Because not only receiving, but your character should interact with the world. So while it's receiving information, it should be able to transmit. So transmitting, you're using the same things. You're using the same 5 basic elements on the top. Smell, taste, color. But it has to perform work in the universe. That is called the equipment to do speaking, working, traveling, meaning working means our hands, for example, we work with objects. Traveling means we move our body from here to another place using our legs. Generating, meaning we create children and stuff like that, or a progeny. Evacuating means rejecting the bodily toxins and whatnot. Every living entity is doing this. So our character in this video game has to do this too. So far you're with me, or 10% dropped off? Okay. On top of it, while all this information is there, we gather information, we transmit information, but there should be some processing happening. So there is the mind, which does the processing. How does the mind operate? It has 3 functions. Thinking. So when information comes, it thinks, what I do this with this information. And also, it feels. When the information comes, it thinks, okay, so-and-so person said something to me, it will say, okay, this person told me, and then it feels, oh, I feel good about what this person said, or I feel bad about what this person said. There's a sense of feeling. Feeling is generated in the mind. Willing. You remember we are talking about we have to do work in this world? You need willpower, right? If I want to go to the temple, you need willpower. I want to go to the temple. There's this desire, and then you need to say, will, yes, I want, it's going to snow, but I have the willpower to go to the temple today. This is called willing. These three things happen in this small box called the mind in our character. Thinking, feeling, and willing. Okay? On top of it, there's the intelligence. Intelligence is, while you may think something, while you may feel something and you will to do, there's this called the discriminative power. I feel like eating sweets. I think I should eat sweets, but my doctor said no. So there's this discriminatory power, right? Which is very subtle difference here. That is done by intelligence. Intelligence is governed by some higher principle than thinking, feeling, and willing. A little more higher, but it's very hard to differentiate those two, but it's a little higher. And lastly, ego means identity. If I make the avatar character and I have made all the characters are the same, but I have to give identity. I have to say you're X, you're Y, you're Z. Ego is a sense of identity. Even if they may have the same Great Dane dogs, 10 of them, everybody has a different identity. Now, if you have all these, is this good enough for a character to work? No. You as a video game player, you have to say, this is, I am the character who's going to control this, right? Our character is not going to be enough. As soon as you log into your video game, maybe they'll say, you want to be X, Y, or Z. You have to pick and say, okay, I am going to be X. So you are going to control in the video game I, right? That is what's consciousness. The consciousness is what's going to drive the living force. We are going to give, as soon as you log into your video game console, we are giving life to that character into the game. That's our consciousness. Now, is that enough? What happens? Now you have the character, you have the video game environment ready, everything. What do you need to do? You need to click start, right? On the video game. You need to click start. When you click start, what happens? The clock starts. Tick, 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 tick. Timer, right? Every video game has a time. That is the next element. When time is introduced, all these things start to interact. That means the other characters are starting to move. The environment around you is going to move. Your character can still decide to stay there, but things are moving in the game, right? I'm going to introduce one more item here. Essentially, the game has rules around it, right? Meaning, what happens in the game. Right now, until now, we define what the character is. We saw how it interacts with everything, but there's going to be rules for the game around, correct? That is what is called the cosmic intelligence. In the Sanskrit language, it is called Hiranmaya. Now your game is ready to begin. So you are sitting outside, logging into this, and the game has started. Now you can control the game, right? You have these 5 elements. Now, once we design this game and you're ready to log in, what would you now you're the designers for this game, right? What would you say would be the goal of your game? Your character, what should they be doing? Some ideas? Build the game, win the game, but you are the designer. You need to say who wins the game. Okay, so if you kill other characters, you may win the game. That's one concept here. What could be other things that you can do in the game? Go ahead, Kasya. You have to find something and get it. Okay. So I'm asking, what are the rules for the game? What kind of rules would you put in the game? Yes, milestones of life. Yes, good. You put restrictions, rules for the game. Yeah. Now let us step out of the game. This is what the world is, according to Bhagavad Gita chapter 13. And if you want to go further deep, it is in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, chapter 25, where Lord Kapila Dev is explaining to Devahuti, Mother Devahuti. Mother Devahuti asks this question, what is this world around me? And the same question is asked by Arjuna in 13th chapter. What is Adibhuta, Aididaiva, he asks these questions. He asks 6 questions, and Arjuna gives these things. It is called the Mahat Tattva. This whole world is made out of these 25 elements, along with time. You can ignore the cosmic and intelligence. So tomorrow when your children ask you, how did the world come into play by the Big Bang Theory? You can say yes. But the Big Bang started when the time started to click. Everything came into being. According to the Bhagavatam, when the Mahapurusha is sleeping and he wakes up, that's when time starts. And all the elements start to interact. And the whole world begins its engine. This cosmic engine starts. Okay, well and good. What are you avatars doing here? Where do I fit in? Earlier we went through this meditation, right? What am I doing here? Where do I fit in this world? So let us step out for a moment. What is the difference between us and animals? For example, right? Let us take these characters, right? Let us go back to the video game a little bit. There are some special characters which are different from the other characters. For example, us as humans versus animals. We are different. How are we different? Last, you're raising your hand, go ahead. We have intelligence. Animals have intelligence. You think if you hit a dog, it'll come back to you again? Ego? Yes or no, Mataji? A dog which is well bred, maybe it has its own. Yep. Yep. Mataji, you were going to say something? We can ask questions. A dog cannot ask questions. Maybe it's asking in its own language. Okay. But let's not go into the details. But as a society, we are different, right? Human society versus animal society. Do animals follow rules and regulations? Yeah, when we set up rules in our house, right? So, essentially, let me take it a little further. If the characters in the game, what are the characters as dogs and cats and whatnot in the video game trying to achieve versus us as humans? They are existing as they are, but what are we doing? Are we trying to do something more than them? Yes, sorry, it's a wide question. Let me take you to the answer, right? Okay, good. Yes, we are trying to control. We formed a society, right? As humans, we set up rules and regulations. I'll fast forward, from this introductory session. There are 4 things, according to the Vedas, we are doing 4 things. Everything that we do can fall in these 4 categories. It is called the Purusharthas. game already began. We talked about it. We're doing dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. It falls in one of these categories. Some of us are trying to be righteous. We follow the rules and regulations. We want to be nice to others, and what's not. And you could be following all the four too, they are called, dharma is called moral values. Artha, aren't we all not trying for prosperity in our life? We're trying to get money, better, lifestyle and whatnot. Kama, are we all trying to get sense pleasure? We're trying to buy video games to get sense pleasure, right? Moksha, liberation. Liberation means, another way to say it is, escape from suffering. We have a pain, we run to a doctor. That's a liberation from pain. So liberation truly means escape from suffering. So in our video game, every character gets these 4 boxes where they can accumulate points. By performing righteous dharma, I get some points. By doing activities where I can get artha, I get some points. By doing certain things, I can get. We as society are doing this for. Now imagine, those of you are, parents, your kid playing this video game. Those of you are, don't have, kids, your siblings playing this video game. They started playing this video game and they forgot themselves. They got involved in this video game and they're going on accumulating these 4 points. Keep on accumulating. You just keep, the game keeps going on, keeps going on, keeps going on. Earlier I told you there's time, right? Every character has a lifetime. After reaching a point, that character has to die. And then he can take another avatar. But based on the points he has accumulated here, he's going to get a different avatar. Another character. That is the game of our life. This is how we are tying to the title. The game of our life. And you keep doing this, one character after another character after another character after another character for eternity. You see this guy? That guy got stuck there. So he's playing the video game. He's gone from one world to another world to another world to another world, but he's just sitting there. How do you... Yes. So how do you get out of this game? Once you enter into this game, how do you get out of this game? Wake up. Okay? Okay, let's not have side conversations because Panduranga Prabhu said 80% are going to drop off here. So, now let us go to chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita. What Krishna says there is this identity, this individual who is logged into this video game console, who is different from the game. Unless he realizes that he is not that character, he will never come out of that character. So it's time for us to realize that we are not this character. But one caution, as long as you're in the game, you cannot say, I will stop this. You still need to do. That's what Karma Yoga is. In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Arjuna asks, can I stop these activities? Because you're saying, I'm not the body, I'm the spirit soul, I am this guy playing outside the game. Can I stop this? Krishna says, no. As long as you're in this world, you need to keep doing these. But with the right consciousness that you're not in the game, but you're outside the game. So as you do these activities, you may get some points in some areas, you may not get some points in areas. Krishna says, don't worry about it. keep playing the game. But remember that you're not the player. You're the player, but you're not the one who's getting the damage points. You're not the one. Anybody of you, how many of you watched Matrix? Okay. I think the story writer stole it from Bhagavad Gita. Remember when the character is in Matrix, when he gets hit by a bullet, if he tells himself, I am not in this matrix, he's not affected. But the moment he thinks the bullet hit me, when you keep going like that, you can, now we're going to go into a higher principle. Who is this guy outside the game and what is his identity? Until now he thought he was this avatar in the game, right? What is this guy's identity outside? Okay, if I'm not that guy there, I am the guy here. What am I doing here? Or what am I supposed to be doing here? Is there anything about this whole game? Now you'll be introduced to three concepts. The concept who is outside the game, which is the soul. Is there a controller above this one? Yes, there is the super soul. And then the third thing is there's a relationship between me and the super soul. So as you're doing these activities, you can say, I will do these activities with the consciousness that I'm the soul and there's a super soul. And I can do these activities based on his guidance. Then what happens is your identity, you become disconnected more and more and more from the character in the game, and you become more identify yourself more and more and more as the individual outside playing the game. And then there's an exit out of this matrix. When your character is about to die, if you realize that identity, you get an exit out. Because you understood who you are, that means you're turning the PlayStation off. But the rest of the characters are still in the game, okay? Good so far? So let us quickly go to the summary of chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna asks these questions and Krishna responds. So from verse number 1 to verse number 7, Arjuna asks 6 questions and Krishna starts to explain. So here you will see Krishna explains the field of activities as the body. So this is our body and this is our field of activity, by which the soul engages his allocated sphere. So how much control we have? Within the sphere only, right? And then within the sphere we are interacting with this world. The next one says, Krishna says, the soul is the knower of this field. We know about this body, we know our desires, we know our things. And has knowledge of his own field. I have knowledge of me only, and you have knowledge of you only. I can't have knowledge of you. Then there is this third one. Krishna is the super soul who has knowledge of everyone here. That is the Aditya. And now what is knowledge? That is the question. Knowledge is to know the field, know about ourselves, and the knowers. Who are the knowers? The soul and the super soul. It's not just knowing ourselves, we need to know about the super soul also. That is what Krishna is explaining until verse number 7. Now, going further down, Krishna explains the process of knowledge and liberation. He told you, right? How do we come out of this game? He says, the process of knowledge is the activities by which the soul gets the knowledge beyond the limitation of his activities. I'm doing some activities, but I need to know beyond that. And then we become transcendental to our activities. You remember those 4 points that we're trying to accumulate? For us to think beyond those 4 points, that is the key thing here. And then lastly, there's further, which goes into a little more detail, but I want to conclude with this. Krishna, in the end, he's explaining what is the object of knowledge. What am I supposed to get knowledge of? Am I supposed to get knowledge of how to conduct myself in this world as dharma? Or am I supposed to get knowledge of artha, meaning how do I make money in this world? How do I get pleasure in this world, kama? Or how do I liberate myself from these sufferings, moksha? But what Krishna says is, the soul can know the super soul, which is the ultimate object of knowledge. Our biggest goal in this game that we are playing is to understand the super soul. And then finally he concludes by saying, only devotees can understand the super soul. That is because of our love, because the higher power can reveal the knowledge to us. Okay? So that is the game of life. Any questions, comments? Sure, Prabhuji, we can work on them, yes. Anybody else? Comments, questions? All right. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you very much, Mohan Lila Prabhu, for that interesting way of presentation. Thank you. Please give a big hand. Today's Sunday feast is sponsored by 4 families. Satish and Lakshmi Mataji, they are seeking Krishna's blessings for their son Sri Ratesh on his 8th birthday. Is he here? Haribol, please come and receive your birthday gift. Can you please? Shyam, please give. Haribol, Hare Krishna. 8 years. Haribol. Okay. Wish you a very happy Krishna conscious birthday. Yes, we will pray for you. And Prajakti Shrestha Mataji is seeking Krishna and devotees' blessings for the well-being of the family and friends. Prajakti is here? They are not here. Okay, and Surekha Mataji is seeking the blessings for their daughter Priyanka. I see that she is now playing in Chicago Symphony Orchestra. She is the second one, as I know, because Sri Vallabha Prabhu's daughter Nitya Priya was the first one I knew who was part of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and Priyanka is now doing that. And Priyanka's family, they are seeking everybody's prayers and blessings for her spiritual progress. And I would say that will be assured because Nitya Priya is pretty well situated, obvious. And then Sri Vallabha Prabhu and family, they are also sponsoring Sunday feast in memory of his mother who passed away, and prayers for the soul. Also, one more family had asked me to make an announcement somewhat similar. Somebody is going through a surgery, and they also asked us to offer our prayers to their lordships. So please chant after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the slots are open for next week's Sunday feast, and you can contact Abhay Prabhu. Where is he? He just left. Yeah. So we have such a beautiful weather here. It looks like we have only a handful of people, but that's good enough for us. But in any case, I think I will say one important one is a handful. Okay, okay. So there is a special day coming up. That is next week, Tuesday. It is known as Giving Tuesday. And those of you who haven't heard about it, it is a very special occasion where any donations that is given to the temple, it will be matched. But it has to be done in a certain way. And Shyam Prabhu has been managing this, and I'm going to give this microphone to him. He will explain it to you.
Thank you, Mataji. And as you said, you know, the weather is not good, and still seeing this many people turn around, I'm sure this will be the largest gathering in any Hindu temple in Chicago at this time. So thank you so much, you know, beating the weather out and coming here. That really is not an easy thing, except to me. I live very close by. So what Mataji talked about Giving Tuesday, as some of you have realized by now that we have a wonderful parking, and believe it or not, the water that you are using, that's coming from city of Naperville. So the electricity is there, sanitation is there, and 3 years back you would have asked this, will this happen? I would say not sure. You know, we all have been wondering all along how to do it, but with God's grace and support from our leadership, Premlinda Mataji and everybody else, we are here, you know, and so we have to go to next phase. So next phase of the project requires a lot of support. But the good thing is that everyone can do little bit, and little bit is what makes difference. We have temple, again, I don't want to name some of the temple even in Chicagoland, fantastic temple, but not being maintained temples are about to be sold. So that's not what it is, you know. If the congregation doesn't participate, just one donor can't run the temple. So here's the opportunity on Tuesday. Wonderful, you know, people like Bill and Melinda, Bill Gates Foundation, irrespective of type of non-for-profit, they are giving a matching donation. So whatever we give, they will give it to us. And so again, I can't believe it. This happens, right? And open to everyone, no bar, right? The limit is that you can do up to certain dollar. So I humbly request all of you, again, there are more people, but as many as you are here, you can definitely double it by sharing message to 2-3 times to the people. So my request to every one of you is that take the advantage of this. No matter what kind of donation you want to give it to temple, what cause you want to give it this for temple, we can discuss that later on. You know, you can tell me this is for this purpose, we'll split it. But on Tuesday morning, this donation you have to give morning from 7 a.m. to 7:05 a.m. That's it. If you 7:06, maybe, because they have a limited fund, and whoever first come first serve basis, they will distribute, right? So my humble request to everyone, let's say if you're planning to pledge some money for next year, right, or you have 5 other reasons you give money, and if you are capable enough to do this, I would say do this time, right? This is again the 5 to 7 minutes window. So the trick is that please go right now to Facebook. I have sent the link. If not, go to our website, there is a link. If not, go to our Facebook website, there is a link, and go and play around a little bit. Try to donate $1 to $2 so that you are used to, because in that 5 minutes, if you're not doing, then opportunity is gone, right? So please do it today as far as possible, and do $1, $2, $5, whatever you think the list you can, and then share it on Facebook. Invite other people. And if you have any question, you can always call me. My numbers are all over the place, internet. Everybody knows my numbers. You can find it. And please, anything you can do, that will be highly appreciated. Again, this is one opportunity. Even though you want to do Sunday Fest, let's say on 31st, why don't you do it on Tuesday sponsorship, right? Your Sunday Fest is done and we get some money. So take this advantage. Same way book distribution. They are the people, they want to encourage them. We'll split that money for book distribution. That's not a problem. But primary goal is, raise a little bit extra money so that it helps for our temple construction project. Although we are working through all the sources, but we don't want miss out this either, right? This is one opportunity we have. So I'm really counting all of you. Please talk to me if you need anything. If you can't do it for some reason, you want me to do on your behalf, we'll work it out. But please talk to me, not ignore. Otherwise, you will miss out. We all will miss out, right? Thank you so much. 250,000. That's the only you can match. No. 250 per. So here is half. 125K. Yeah, I don't know. How much you can? We don't know per person, but we'll let you know. But thank you so much. Yeah. Any other person who wants to know the limit? All right. If not, thank you so much. Thanks for listening patiently. Let's go have darshan and go for prasadam. There's a lot of prasadam. Pack it as much as you want. Thank you. Hare Krishna.